Hey Yasharal and family, back with you for another one. Today we're going to be looking at the seed of the fallen versus the seed of man. And I know for some this may be a little bit difficult to digest, but it is what it is according to the word of the Most High. And we know that the wicked one, what he seeks to do is to do everything that is contrary to what the Most High has created, to what Yah has set out, especially in the way in which natural things are set in place. In addition to that, we were warned by Masha when he came down from the mountain after he was given Yah's statutes and commandments to give unto our forefathers of certain things. Now, remember that the covenant was cut with us as a nation, with our forefathers. That covenant was not cut with anyone else, right? And I also want everyone to keep in mind that our enemies from old looked like us. Though today we have several enemies in all types of appearances, that's a different presentation and conversation for another time. So the covenant was cut with us. It was not cut with anyone else. So the things that the Most High was telling us not to do, which was considered an abomination before Him, was given to us, yeah, as to how we would sit and rule over this earth as He set us upon to represent, to be His representatives in His righteousness here on this earth, as it was set to be when He created Adam and placed him on the earth. And we'll get into that another time and how that connects to now. And so we're going to be looking at several issues here. And this may be a part two, very short. This may be a part one of two, rather, not very long. But we're going to go and we're going to dive right into it. And we need to realize that it tells us that the whole earth, it is written, was turned over to the wicked, right? And so if that is the case, we know that this earth is being ruled for a time by the wicked one, by his seed, both physical and spiritual seed. Those of us who continue to desire to break the Most High's covenant and to adhere to the things that are unrighteous. And so we're going to be looking at a couple things here in these two very concise presentations, and understand that we have to examine ourselves and we have to look at what it is we desire to do before the Most High. Because the ones that are the enemies of the Most High, their desire is to put in His face and to do upon this earth what is corruptible and what is destructive and what is an abomination, and also to try to engage us and to convince us that we must do the same. So we're going to start with a scripture from Wayikra, or Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. It says, "And do not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. And do not have intercourse with any beast," this is verse 23, "to defile yourself with it. And a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It is a abomination." So we're going to continue by looking at a few clips, a few videos, and we're going to show that what the enemy seeks to do and what the enemy seeks to export from the places of his rule upon this earth to the rest of the earth, and particularly to our people. And I will make commentary at some parts in between, but I want you to understand that we must be wary, especially those of us that are still in the lands of our captivity. Understand what it is that we are exposing our children to, and what it is we want them to get involved in, because one thing leads to another, and to another, and to another, and before you know it, we can become rejected of the Most High. right, so let's get right into it.
This is Joseph. He fell in love with Nathan.
We've been together for 13 years. Growing up in Texas, and definitely even more so in a Mormon family, I felt a lot of, quote, Mormon guilt about my sexuality.
Joseph's sister Brianna has always been supportive and is helping the couple start their own family.
She would be our gestational carrier.
But not everyone is supportive of this.
This is sick, you guys are freaks, white trash. What you're doing is wrong to the core. Stella? No, don't go in the closet. My name is Joseph, this is my husband Nathan, and we've been together for 13 years. Oh, you did so good on my highlight.
Oh, yes.
It's about time you got it right. Nothing? Okay, nothing for that comment?
No, because I know it's not true.
You do each other's hair? We do.
So I'm a hairstylist.
We literally own a very high-end salon with a boutique, design jewelry, style you from head to toe. The sky's the limit.
And he orders me around. He's my boss.
Do as I
He
say.
thinks so.
We met through mutual friends. I had a girlfriend that did hair, and her brother worked with Nathan doing hair. About a year after I found out about Nathan, I ended up meeting him. I didn't go into it thinking I would ever date him. He wasn't necessarily my type. Once we realized that we had a good chemistry, friendship-wise, that's when the romance developed.
And let me go back. When he says I wasn't his type, fabulous and funny and, you know, all the good things. We've been together for about 13 years.
You're still happy and in love, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. Since day one.
Be more convincing, Nathan.
I am convincing.
Growing up in Texas, and definitely even more so in a Mormon family, I felt a lot of, quote, Mormon guilt about my sexuality. I knew for sure since I was 14 that I was gay, but I was very scared of not only admitting to myself, but also disappointing my family or my parents. Thankfully, I had the support of my sister Brianna. She was the first person that I told that I was gay. Brianna's not only my little sister, but she's my best friend and always been my bodyguard and protector. And fast forward to our adulthood, she was able to agree with me that she would be our gestational carrier and help us start our own family. I have always known that I want children. I was very clear with Nathan from the time we met that when I was 35, I was bringing babies home.
When he turned about 33, he started like getting on that bandwagon and I was like freaking out. But of course, now that it's in process, like I can't imagine not, you know, doing it.
What? He's gonna be a great dad, and I knew whenever we dated that he had all the attributes I was looking for, and so.
I mean, honestly, I've been raising a child for, what, 13 years
Well, if
now?
this is what you did, then I'm scared. I'm scared because I'm a brat. Oh, look at you working hard. Here, pull that.
You?
What do you do with this thing?
That goes in the crib.
Oh, my sister Brianna.
I'm not your sister.
No, I was just looking at you. After discussing it, we decided that Brianna being the carrier was the most important thing to us because I knew that if something did happen, I could trust her.
We had our friend Courtney, our best friend, that was gonna donate her eggs, and then we would use both of our sperm.
I've known the guys for about 12 years, and I am the egg donor.
And now you are the baby bed creator.
Our first IVF journey was a little stressful.
A little.
That was a lot stressful.
The drama before the first embryo transfer, they called me the morning of the transfer and told me, unfortunately, Joseph, the embryo of yours did not survive the thawing process and is no longer viable. So I was devastated. They ended up thawing out a second embryo, so then we did get pregnant with twin girls. And unfortunately, we made it 7 weeks before Brianna had a miscarriage. And it was the most devastating thing that any of us have ever been through. We're moving forward. We've done a second embryo transfer after Brianna was able to recover, and thankfully she agreed to do it again, and we're now pregnant with one boy, one girl. We are 8 weeks or less away from the due date. Although it looks like it's a mess, I don't have to worry because Courtney, AKA Aunt Courtney, will handle all the things. So I am not alarmed. Look at this, so cute. I know I'm gonna feel exponentially more love for these babies than I do any animal that I've ever had. And so I'm excited for my heart to grow I'm a Grinch right now. Hello, Brianna. How are my babies? Oh, yay.
Hey, girl. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very large. Yeah, so tight. I'm gonna pop like a balloon, and we still have like 2 months.
Today is our 29th week appointment, so we're gonna do an ultrasound to make sure that they're both living and swimming well. The thing that stresses me out the most about being a parent is just the amount of hate in the world. I cannot begin to express how disturbing it is that people feel the need to express their opinions of my life and my family when it has nothing to do with them and their life and their family.
A lot of the reactions I get from people are mostly positive, but you'll still find that there's a lot of uneducated opinions out there because they don't really understand that it's not my DNA mixing with my brother's or even my brother-in-law's. I'm literally just housing them for 9 months.
Some people were so excited, like, oh, this is so perfect, it's amazing, you're gonna be able to see her every day.
The people that know how it works.
And some people thought, this is sick, you guys are freaks, white trash from Arkansas. OMG, so sad for those babies. More mental issues ahead. Live your life, don't bring innocent kids into it. You're mocking God. What you're doing is wrong to the core. God forgive you. Poor baby gonna live in hell one day. This will be illegal again. This is sick. The whole situation is an abomination. So that.
And they're all adults that are making these comments. They're the bullies. And then they have children and they teach their children that. Shocking. I knew that people were gonna judge us for being gay and automatically put us in a category of you shouldn't have kids.
We don't want to focus on the negative, and I don't try to give them any attention. We're gonna rise above.
All right, so they look good. Size is great, your fluid's good, your weight and blood pressure are doing good, so you're cruising.
Good work, Oven. Thank you so
You guys
much.
have a good afternoon. See you later.
We are about to head over to the new salon. We're in transition, moving into our newer, better, larger location. The appointment went really well. I didn't feel very uncomfortable. The doctor made me feel very safe. Just kidding.
If I could describe our journey in one word, I would say holy cow.
It's important to live your life for yourself. You only get one shot, and if you constantly live your life trying to please other people, if you're constantly trying to be somebody for someone else, you're just gonna have a lifetime of regret.
There's so many haters and ugly people out there, but there's also a lot of loving people. And I feel like our story is gonna empower people out there.
I think that the beauty of my life is that it's perfectly imperfect. We're crazy.
We are
Mostly him.
crazy.
I'm the sane one. I don't know why I'm crying. I really am just extremely emotional about the whole process because it is my life's dream and it's coming true right now. There are no words to describe the amount of gratitude I feel toward Courtney and Brianna. My goal for this family is world domination.
Yes, Yasharel family. So I want us to really understand how all of this is not just being done in the face of the Most High to show the also continued rebellion of the wicked one, because he knows nothing else, but also to ensnare us, and over time to make us the face of all of these types of things, all of this abomination before the Most High. Because everything that happens on this earth is about the Most High and about his people. Everything. Everything is about the Most High, I'm going to repeat, and about his people. His people that he set apart, his people that he brought out of Mitzrayim, his people that he exiled and sent into captivity, who he had broke that covenant with. And it's very important that we understand that. And so we have to have that discernment that we need to have as to what is happening around us. And so I want us to really be able to pay attention. And for those of us that are seeking the face of the Most High, let's continue to seek earnestly. For those of us who understand the war, which continues, it started with Hasatan when he was lifted up with pride and rebelled against the Most High. Now I want us to pay attention to this word pride, because I'm going to come back to it in the next part of the follow-up presentation to this. We're going to break that word down in it etymologically and see why even this movement is also called pride. So I'll see you on the next one. Continue to ask the Father to just reveal himself to you, that you can walk in spirit and in truth, because we have even a lot of our own people and those that may look like us but are not of us, that's out there also bringing different messages, different doctrines outside of the word of the Most High, to confuse us, to keep us in a state of anarchy in our thoughts and in our spirit, whereby we walk in a place which is unpleasing before him. So continue to pray for those of you that are listening, that are striving towards him, and pray for us as a nation. Unfortunately, it is written that though Yasharal is as numerous as the sands of the sea, only a remnant shall come out. But nonetheless, we must stay in prayer anyway. So until the next one, Salema, and praise Abba.